Hey YouTube, it's Unger to the Max here. And maybe you've noticed this, but I'm trying to keep the length of my videos shorter. Although I still might occasionally do some videos that are longer. Those are going to be my podcasts. My video podcasts, if you will. But generally I'm going to try and keep these videos much shorter. Which makes it easier for you to watch, easier for me to upload, so we all win. Okay, now that little piece of information is out of the way, let me get to the main topic of the day. It's a weird time to be a sports fan right now. Usually, today is a great day because it's Selection Sunday. We find out the bracket. Who's the number one overall seed? What's the 2-15 matchup? Or the 4-13 matchup? Where's my favorite team going to be seated? In that case, that would be Villanova. Where's Kentucky seated? Where's North Carolina seated? Duke, Michigan State, Purdue, Virginia. I could go on and on. But unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, and I understand it, March Madness is canceled. So, and it's a little bit more depressing for me than usual this year because this year was so exciting for me because no team could sustain being number one. I mean, Kansas was number one, and then they went to Villanova and lost. Although they ended up being number one later. If only Baylor had knocked them off. Oh well. Duke was number one, but I believe they lost at home to Stephen F. Austin on a last-second field goal. Louisville was number one, but I believe they lost on a neutral site game to Texas Tech. You get the idea. So there wasn't a clear-cut team that experts were going, they're the favorites to win the championship this season, or they're the favorites. You didn't have that. There were many different teams that the experts were looking at and going, they could win the championship. Like, some experts were saying, okay, maybe Gonzaga could win the whole thing. There were experts saying Kansas is going to win the whole thing. I don't think many people were saying Dayton could win the whole thing, but they looked like a legit threat. There were people saying Kentucky could maybe win the whole thing. And it's just kind of leaves this empty feeling. I don't know. So, there's that. And then we got some very interesting news. Well, two pieces of news, actually. Number one, Ryan Tannehill agreed to a multi-year extension with the Tennessee Titans. Which means the Titans are out of the Tom Brady race. So that leaves the Las Vegas Raiders, the Los Angeles Chargers, Indianapolis Colts, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New England Patriots. Do I think he's going to go back to the Patriots? No, I don't. Do I think he's going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Absolutely not. The Buccaneers are complete and total trash. Let's see. Do I think he will go to the Chargers? Maybe. Do I think he'll go to the Raiders? Doubt it. Do I think he'll go to the Colts? Yes, I do. I think Tom Brady will end up signing with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm making that prediction right now. Tom Brady will sign with the Indianapolis Colts. There you go. And the other piece of news that came out today related to the NFL is that by a margin of 60 votes, the NFL Players Association voted to approve the new CBA for the league. So, what that means is that starting next season, only the number one seed will have a bye. First round bye. And if that had taken place this year, only the Ravens and 49ers would have gotten a first round bye. That would have meant that the number 2 seeded Kansas City Chiefs, who eventually went on to knock off the San Francisco 49ers and win Super Bowl 54, they would have hosted the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round, and the Green Bay Packers would have hosted the LA Rams. The other matchups would have stayed the same. The Patriots still would have hosted the Titans. The Eagles still would have hosted the Seahawks. The Saints still would have hosted the Vikings. And the Texans would have still hosted the Bills. Also, because of the new CBA, the season gets expanded to 18 games, or 18 weeks, I should say, my apologies, and 17 games. So I've heard that what's going to happen is 9 teams will get 8 games at home, or let's see, 16 teams will get 9 games at home. There we go. And then the next season it'll flip, and those 16 teams who had an extra home game will now get an extra road game. There we go. But I've also heard that the extra game will be a neutral site game or an international game. And I get that. But in general, I don't like neutral site games. And here's why. For a big time matchup, why would you put it in a neutral site field? Why would you put it at a neutral site? Okay, for example, let's say Alabama is going to play Ohio State. Okay? Just hypothetically. Although I would love to see that matchup actually happen. I think Ohio State is actually starting a home-and-home series with Oregon. Yes, they are. And this coming season, they will be playing each other at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. Go Ducks! Please beat Ohio State. In case you haven't figured it out, I hate the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ugh. Never have liked them, never will. We are Penn State! Anyway, so if Alabama were to play Ohio State, that game should be at Ohio State or at Alabama. Again, I get why the NCAA would make a matchup like that be a neutral site game at Cowboys Stadium, aka Jerry's World. I get it. But to me, playing a game in a neutral site takes away from the atmospherics a little bit. I mean, one team is designated the home team, but they don't feel like they're the home team. I don't know. I mean, I know neutral site games are never going to change. They'll always be a thing. I just don't like them. But I still watch them, and they end up being great games. I mean, remember the Oregon-Auburn game to open the season last year? I think that loss by Oregon cost them a chance to potentially be in the college football playoff. Although, plus they destroyed Utah in the Pac-12 championship. Although, during the season, Oregon lost at Arizona State. But still, if Oregon hadn't scheduled a big-time SEC program like Auburn, they couldn't possibly made the college football playoff. Don't know. We'll never know, honestly. So, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, punch the like button like a UFC fighter and punch that subscribe button. Until next time, this is Unger to the Max, signing off.